Have you ever caught yourself scrolling through social media, feeling your mood just plummet with each passing post? Well, in a world where everyone's highlights are at our fingertips, it's easy to fall into the comparison trap. But what if I told you that there's a way to climb out and reclaim your joy? And what if I told you that you can do it without quitting social media? Sounds good, right? Well, stay tuned because we're going to unlock these strategies together. In this episode, we're going to be exploring how to reclaim your joy in a world that's rampant with comparison. And we'll dissect why we compare, we'll dissect the impact that it has on our mental health, and most importantly, how to navigate through these feelings to find contentment and joy in our own lives. And I'll share with you my strategy, which doesn't include deleting your social media profiles. Welcome to the My Success Coach podcast, where we dive deep into strategies that help you lead a more fulfilling and successful life. I'm your host, Success Coach Brian Robinson, and today we're tackling a pervasive issue in our digital age, the comparison trap. Did you know that studies have found a strong link between social media use and increased feelings of depression and anxiety, primarily due to the tendency to compare ourselves to others? It's a startling fact that underscores the importance of today's topic. Before we dive in, let's ponder on a thought from Theodore Roosevelt. So Teddy Roosevelt is credited with saying, "Comparison is the thief of joy." Now, this simple yet profoundly true statement is a reminder that our joy and self-worth should be measured by our own standards, not by looking over someone else's fence. All right, so let's get into the meat of today's topic. Reclaiming joy in a world that constantly urges us to compare ourselves to others. I'm going to break it down for you, starting with understanding this whole comparison trap, and then we're going to move on to how it messes with our heads, which, it's the mental health bit. So grab your favorite beverage, find a comfy spot, and let's chat for a little bit. Understanding the comparison trap. You know, I've been there, scrolling through my feed at night, wondering how everyone else seems to be killing it in life except for me. It's like 1 minute you're happy for your friend's new job, and then the next you're questioning your entire career path. Does this sound familiar? Well, that's the comparison trap for you. But here's the thing, it's not just social media. It could be a family gathering, a catch up with old friends, or just overhearing someone brag about their latest achievements at a coffee shop. Suddenly, you're measuring your life against theirs, and honestly, it's super exhausting. So why do we do it? Well, it's partly how we're wired. We're social creatures, and it's natural to look around and see how we stack up. But in today's world, with everyone's highlights on display 24/7, it's like we're in this never-ending competition that no one signed up for. Recognizing when and why you fall into this trap is crucial. It's the first step to pulling yourself out of it. Something that you have to do is be cognizant and try to notice the triggers. Is it a certain person? Is it a specific platform? Or maybe even a time of day? Acknowledging these can help you take control and start making changes. The impact on mental health. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. How this constant comparison is doing a number on our mental health. Have you ever felt that pit in your stomach after seeing someone else's vacation photos while you're stuck at work? Or that twinge of jealousy over a friend's promotion? Well, that's your mental health taking a hit. The truth is, this endless comparing can lead to some pretty heavy stuff like anxiety, depression, and a serious hit on your self-esteem. It's like you're in this loop of feeling inadequate no matter what you achieve. And let's be real, that is no way to live, right? But here's the deal. It's okay to feel these things. What's not okay is letting them take the driver's seat in your life. So recognizing that these feelings stem from comparison is a big step towards managing them. It's about understanding that your worth isn't determined by how you stack up against someone else's achievements. So I've been through it myself. I spent nights wondering why I wasn't as successful as my peers seemed to be. And I had days filled with self-doubt. But once I acknowledged the impact it had on my mental health, I could start addressing it. And trust me, this is a big game changer. So now that we have an idea of while we fall into the comparison trap and how it's messing with our mental health, let's talk about climbing out of it. It's about getting proactive and making some changes. And I want to share with you some strategies that have been game changers for me and could be for you too. So let's go ahead and dive in. One of the things I love to do is I've learned to take a good hard look at what I bring to the table. And I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't easy at first. It's like giving yourself a pep talk or maybe even seem like bragging a little bit, but trust me, this works. I started by being mindful of the value that others see in me. You know those moments when someone thanks you for your help, or they praise you for your work, or they tell you how something that you did really had a big impact on them. Well, these aren't just niceties, they're reflections of your impact. I also got real about myself, or real with myself about my skills. And we're talking about those talents that you know you have, even if you're shy about admitting them. And gratitude is super huge. Being grateful for what you have, not just the material things, but being grateful for the gifting that you've been created with, and being grateful or having gratitude for the value that you bring or the impact that you have on others. And being grateful for that and not thinking about what you lack, this is a super huge game changer. Now, I won't sugarcoat it. There are days when it's tough, and that's when my inner circle comes in. And my inner circle, these are people who aren't afraid to remind me of my worth and my unique gifts that I bring to the table. These are the people who help me do the inventory on those days when it's hard for me to do it for myself. So here are a couple of action items for you in order for you to maybe incorporate some of this into your life. So something you can do is write down your gifts and your skills. Write down the ways that you've impacted people. What are those things that you do to help others? Get them down, put them on paper. Trust me, this helps tremendously. Because you can always go back and look at that piece of paper and remind yourself. Then the next thing is cultivating your inner circle. Surround yourself with people who lift you up and are genuine cheerleaders for your success. And remember that it's a two-way street, so be that person for them too. Building others up is surprisingly uplifting for your own self-esteem. Next is curating your social media feed. Social media, let's face it, it's a big part of our lives. So being intentional about who you follow can make a huge difference. I started following accounts that fuel my journey of self-worth, and the ones that leave you feeling inspired, those are the ones that I started interacting and following a lot. And I strayed away from the ones that made you feel like you're inadequate. Interacting with these accounts, it tells the algorithms, hey, this is the good stuff that I want to see. And before you know it, your feed becomes a source of motivation and inspiration instead of a pit of comparison. It's about making social media work for you, not against you. So here's what you can do. You can audit your follow list. If an account doesn't make you feel good about yourself, it might be time to hit unfollow. Another thing you can do is engage with positive content. You can like, comment, share. This shows the algorithm that you want this kind of content and that this is the kind of content that supports your journey to self-worth. All right, so let's keep this momentum going with a couple more strategies that have helped me stay on track. Another one is I set personal vision and personal goals related to that vision, but these are unrelated to other people. So it's easy to get caught up in what everyone else is doing, but what about your own vision and your own goals? So setting personal milestones that aren't influenced by someone else's achievements can give you a sense of direction and fulfillment. I'm telling you, this is not easy at all, but it's something that you can do. So whether it's learning a new skill, improving your health, or just reading more books, make sure that these goals are about making you a better version of yourself for yourself. Next is practicing mindfulness and positive affirmations. Now, something that I do in my life is I like to pray a lot. So I pray, then I practice mindfulness, and then through my faith, I have affirmations that are tailored through the lenses of my faith. Never underestimate the power of a positive mindset. Mindfulness practices like prayer, meditation, or simply taking a few minutes to breathe and be present can help reduce the urge to compare. Pair that with positive affirmations, like those I am statements. Yeah, I know it kind of sounds wonky, right? When you do this, you start to rewire your brain to focus on your strengths and potential. Trust me, it does work. Implementing these strategies doesn't mean that you'll never feel the urge to compare yourself again, but it's about having the tools to manage those feelings and redirect your focus to what truly matters, your own growth and happiness. So I want you to remember that you're on your unique path. Embrace it, celebrate it, and let's continue to build each other up. If these tips resonate with you, consider joining my Unstoppable email community for more insights and support on your journey to self-worth. Why not let me be one of those social media accounts that help you, that are life-giving to you and help you on this journey for your self-worth. And hey, while we're at it, if you want to explore some coaching options with me, together, we can definitely make your path unstoppable. So feel free to check out the links at the bottom of this episode if you want to join the Unstoppable email community or if you want to explore some coaching options with me. But until next time, keep finding your path.